All right. Hello, everybody. We are rolling into the 5th session of our Star Wars Cabaret campaign. That's certainly what I call it in my notes. We're playing with the international group of Awesome. And I'm your GM, Jen. I've had a hell of a weekend so far. So I'm going to be a little bit more chaotic and scattered than usual. Apologies in advance. Feel free to give me little nudges here and there to keep me on task if I drift off too hard. But I promise to give this my best. With that in mind, let's start introducing our players and characters. Alex, I'm going to start with you. Introduce yourself. Who are you playing?
I am Jolo. The playbook is the Gunlugger. He's a bounty hunter, exterminator, bodyguard, not assassin. And yeah, he works for the Bounty Hunter Guild and does odd jobs on the station as well. He's fairly no nonsense and gruff, but not mean. And yeah, and his pockets are full at the moment.
Feeling a little rich after
feels...
completing some honest work, some humane pest removal.
Maybe he'll spend a little extra at the races.
Maybe he will. Maybe he will. All right. Next up, Donna. Tell us who you are. Tell us who you're playing.
Yeah, my name is Donna. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Rasta, who is a pilot. I guess the playbook is the driver. Hotshot pilot who does odd jobs around the station and might even be involved in an upcoming race. Who knows?
Oh, you are. Oh, yes, you are. Last, but certainly far from least, Sabine. Who are you? Who you playing?
I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I'm playing Scrimshaw. He or they pronouns. He uses the Savvy Head playbook, and this belongs to a weird forest sect, but also has garage and repairs the kind of malfunctions that are rooted in the weirdness. So yeah, and he has also gotten a Bacta tank. I don't know if you knew this, but getting them is pretty easy. Actually, they're really cheap, but what is actually expensive is the Bacta stuff itself. It's like a printer.
The tank's easy. Everything else,
Yeah, the tank's easy, but everything, the Bacta itself is like, Need to figure out how to grow it myself, but would require some more hydroponic access than I currently have. So.
Well, if only there were hydroponics experts on the station. I was going to say hydrocurrency. Not in this game, folks. Not in this game. But yeah, there's ways for you to go. There's ways for you to go. But I'm going to start this session with actually with a little bookkeeping, with a little boring but hopefully welcome note that it's been like a day and a half. We're nudging the clock forward a little bit. So everybody heal 1 segment if you're harmed, or maybe 2 if need be, and you can talk to me a little bit about how you've been putting your feet up, or seeking medical treatment, or etc.
I mean, I think Jolo's just been hanging out at the bar, taking it easy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in any rush to get a new job. He's, taking in some gossip, having some drinks.
All right, cool. Well, then you're doing great. You've rested up.
I'm back to a full pie's worth of health.
Wonderful.
Clock.
All right. Well then, now that bookkeeping is out of the way, I'm going to open up with Relesta. Talk to me about the speeder that you are standing in front of, in the cockpit of, and etc. Now, this is a racing speeder, but I'm sure that you know a lot more about racing speeders than I do.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, tell me a few things about the speeder. What makes it so special? What's good about this speeder?
I mean, in general, these speeders are kind of frightening, right? If I had a lick of sense, I would be afraid to get into this.
Wide open
because
top, a lot of exposed parts.
just flimsy. Like, I can look at it and it'll wobble, you know.
I mean, that's dynamic, though.
Yeah, and get rid of that weight, get your power to weight ratio, up to 11,
Are there speed
which I'm
holes?
told is the highest number.
Oh man, yeah.
I guess what makes it special is that I've been in it before, and sometimes that's all the edge you need because I've seen people splash out on the first turn because there's some little thing about their speeder that they didn't anticipate. That make perfect sense to the mechanic or the test pilot, but so maybe there's nothing really special about it, but I kind of know what could get me killed first time out.
For sure. Are you doing sort of a dry run of the course? Just a scheduled thing where it's just you and the track? Maybe doing some thinking?
Yeah, I wonder if there's a track, but also whoever sets the track has some surprises thrown in for good measure.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
odd.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things that makes you feel like this race is on the up and up, and you feel this way in an informed and perhaps fully accurate manner, right? Is that they let all of the pilots take a test run on the course, so that
That's
they can.
Almost professional, right?
It's almost professional. It's actually really, really clean and above board, as far as you can tell. So you get to just do this dry run. It's just you and the track. It also helps me do a little bit of scene setting and break it up right from one scene to another as I introduce other people to this track and this race.
Sure.
So the course starts in the Accretion Star Casino, right? It goes through some of the facilities of the casino, which are of course built for this kind of thing. It's actually semi-dedicated, right?
Is this like some kind of a, like those aquariums where the people walk through this tunnel and there's this, little bulbous thing where all the fish go?
There's
the fish are the gamblers in this kind of Dyson Sphere-esque setup,
Yes.
and we're zooming through, right?
yes. Like there are a couple of spaces, like there's one space that's definitely exactly like that. It's that bubble that you're racing through, and there's on either side of you, there's like VIP gambling going on. You can, if you focus momentarily, because you got to keep your eyes on the track too, but if you focus, like you can see a roulette wheel going while you're doing this dry run. Things are not dead, but they're about 25-30% of capacity in these bubbles right now, because people do want to see the test runs, but it's not as exciting as the real race. But it also goes through sort of some cheap seats, if you will, provided by the casino, where it's a portion of the track with stadium seating on both sides, kind of an area for folks who really want to focus on the race and see some stuff up close and maybe not do some gambling at the same time, except that they're totally gambling on the outcome of the race, because of course they are, because come on.
How could it not be?
Exactly. So the course goes through the casino like this. into a portion of the station's speeder throughway that's been closed off for the event. Because the station is definitely big enough to justify a handful of speeder throughways with a couple of elevations and directions of traffic, so that people and goods can be moved through the station quickly. And of course, there's some. I mean, it's a railroad basically, but it's kind of like a monorail, but it's kind of not, because in Star Wars, there's some dedicated like movement around tracks in the station transit system that are also a part of the speeder throughway. But you go through the speeder throughway above the shopping galleria. There's actually been a temporary like energy grav plate setup. Just the ceiling of the galleria is tremendously high. I don't even want to estimate it, because once I pin a number down, it's something that our logical brains will drill down on. But basically, like if this is the height of the galleria, this is where this force plate, this electric energy field that you'll be racing on top of is going over it. So everybody in the shopping gallery is going to see the belly of your ship for 3/4 of a second. It's very thrilling. Then you'll be going around the Jedi Cloister property, actually, which is going to take you kind of outside of the atmo of the station itself for a little bit. Once again, shield generators are being used to create the sort of tube-shaped pocket of atmosphere you'll be racing inside of, so it's safe-ish for Star Wars. And then you'll be racing through the droid works and back to the casino. And if you ask me to map this in some way, shape, or form, I'll punch you. Okay. It's chaotic. It's supposed to be cool looking.
Everything will look fine in the editing suite, right?
Exactly. Everything's going to look fine and make sense in editing. And you can see the different screens that are being used to capture footage of your ship as it makes all of the different turns and curves and, hugs the best course as it accelerates on straightaways and so forth. As you're sort of drifting beneath the stars around the Jedi Cloister, I gotta ask you, are you working with Adari on this?
I think so, because unless you're part of someone's crew, you kind of have to pick people you trust. You can't just hire someone from the general population of mechanics.
For sure.
So I think Adari is my first call.
So is this Adari's speeder?
Maybe, yeah. I think maybe this was the first thing that she did when we stopped being in the freighter game. She always wanted to build a speeder like this, and built it and just I guess hires it out to whoever for races. So maybe that's why I've been in it more than this time, right? Maybe.
Sure, I like it. I like it.
If I'm interested in being in this race, I have first dibs.
Yep, and she understands that she's not half the driver that this speeder deserves, but sometimes she takes it out for spins too. But if it's really going to shine, it needs a good pilot behind the yoke, the controls. The wheel doesn't sound appropriate. Not Star Warsy enough.
I mean, I think at a stretch you could describe speeders having yokes. You know,
Hmm.
they're not attached to horses; they're attached to whatever it
Right.
is that is out there.
Right. Yep. Whatever sort of cockamamie propellant system you have attached to this series of tin cans and a seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feels very safe, very good. Did anybody sponsor you into this race?
Did anyone sponsor me into this race? That is a good question. Let me look at our people.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that this is like, is this like big sponsors like the most important companies on the station, or is this like anyone can?
This is this is a pretty big race. I mean, it's being put on by Ingve Falkidi, I should say, who owns the Accretion Star Casino.
Yeah.
It's a maybe a bi-yearly occurrence, a race of this scale.
Mhm.
But from experience that actually a lot of effort gets put into making sure that talented pilots get in, regardless of how much big corporate or government or etc. sponsors are, bringing in their heavy hitters.
Yeah. I know we haven't seen it in action at all. At least I
Sure.
haven't. But there's in the alien population there is a mention of a hotel concierge. So that means there must be a 5-star hotel
Oh, absolutely.
for important people.
Oh, of course. I mean, this station's
Um,
supposed to have all of the comforts for folks traveling the galaxy.
yeah. Maybe 5 stars is a stretch, but who
Four and
regulates that
a
kind of thing?
half. I mean, in Star Wars, who probably some weird alien cabal of hotel lovers
Yeah.
who everyone is like, well, if we let this weird cabal of alien hotel lovers judge hotels across the galaxy, then that means we don't have to do it, and that's great.
And I'm sure nothing that boring would ever get into an opening crawl of a Star Wars movie, right?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Honestly, I would be curious where they'd take it.
Yeah, yeah.
But feel free. So you've been sponsored in by Trenken Vurka in that case.
Yeah. I mean, he's a hotel concierge, so maybe not him, but whoever owns the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Whatever the name of this hotel is.
Mm-hmm. Anybody have any ideas?
Galaxy Lounge, something like that. Or of course, there's always, I think, the golden, not cow, golden kelp, because lots more calamaris out there.
The golden kelp, I like it. So yeah, you're racing on behalf of the golden kelp today. Yeah, but there's maybe a hastily assembled and slapped on like magnetic golden kelp emblem on the side of your speeder, along with your racing number, because this is a serious big business real race with honest good pilots and no shenanigans whatsoever. None. No shenanigans. So great. So you glide around the Jedi Cloister, through the droid works, and then back. You follow the lights and the hollow signage to the pit to finish your test run. And Adari greets you as you park it and step out of the cockpit. She asks, how's she riding?
Yeah, pretty good, I think. And then there'll be like probably a all too detailed technical discussion of, this seems to be leaning a little bit forward, and blah blah blah.
Yep, and Adari takes in your feedback with unwounded professionalism. She nods. She immediately starts opening up panels and getting elbows deep in greasy engine bits. And says, yeah, how did it handle through the force field Atmos sections?
I mean, a bit shaky, but I think that is the force field's problem and not the speeders,
I wasn't in charge of calibrating those, but I'll see what I can do about maybe.
No, I mean, half of it is just being completely nervous about trusting that with the centripetal force, and
Well, I know those force fields are rated for capital blasts, so probably your ship isn't really going to do anything that will notice. Just if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, it's just like dress rehearsal nerves, right? It'll be fine for the race.
Yeah. If I had more time, I'd put in an additional thrust feedback sensory computer. That would smooth out the ride a lot. But also, where would I put it? And a good one weighs.
Yeah, it's probably more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, well, I'll do what I can with what I have.
Yeah, you'd have to I'm not sure what you can strip out to balance that out either, like the back of the seat or something crazy like that,
Yeah, but I know how you push your feet in when you're actually going really hard on a turn.
Yeah, you don't want my butt to fall off the back of the chair, sure.
I think that'll distract you. I'm just looking out for you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a problem you can worry about for next time.
I'm not going to tell you to have less butt or more butt.
Thank you.
That's good. All right, well, play it safe, and I'll see you at the race.
Yeah.
She says kind of distractedly as she removes a part entirely, studies it, puts it aside to fiddle with in some further way.
Yeah, I think I will not worry about Adari, completely redesigning the ship in the next few hours, and I will go get noodles or whatever Adari likes from Daisha to give her a break in like an hour or so.
Nice. All right, then I'm gonna change scenes here and ask, basically, Scrimshaw, are you interested in doing Sergeant Ryaka's visit on screen? Or do you want to fast forward to maybe either your arrival at the racetrack or preparing with whoever you've chosen for your +1 to go?
I think I would like to at least know the outcome of my talk with Sergeant Ryaka, unless he's been too busy to come by and has scheduled, said he will come by tomorrow or whatever.
I'd certainly like to get it out of the way if you're interested.
Okay.
If you want to do it on screen, that's cool. If you want to sort of negotiate, summarize it together, that's also cool. I leave that up to you.
Yeah, I don't have a die here close by, so I do not have a decider. Oh, I do have a decider. It's called
It's called the
dice
rolling room.
room. It's called dice room.
That we should
So-
all get into.
Yeah, and I think I'll just do if it's even, we'll play it out, and if it's odd, we'll do a summary.
All right.
So it's odd, so
okay.
it's 5. I like 5s. That's cool.
5s is good. So, all right. Just to summarize, Sergeant Ryaka's been pretty busy, but he does make time to visit. He tries to do so relatively promptly between your contact with Ordo and getting shooed away from the base. Now, before this meeting, if you thought about it, you'd go, well, clearly Sergeant Ryaka knew that it was at least somewhat harmful. This purple crystalline infestation of all of this metallic debris, right? Because it was being casked, it was being kept separate from other waste materials. And what comes out in your meeting with Ryaka is that his initial plan was just to get all of that stuff off station, which is relatively practical, but does mean, and here's where Jen's a materialist nerd, it does mean that shipping containers and casking materials on the station would enter a pretty critical shortage, actually, if he did this and they didn't return to circulation shortly.
Also, you never know where it might blow up if you put it out if you just throw it off the station.
I mean, he had a couple of asteroids kind of marked out, but you still kind of never know what kind of effects an explosion there would be. He certainly had no idea, like, how powerful an explosion or what have you, or whether some shitheads would recover it as soon as it was more distant from the station itself. So all that to say, he's relatively open to a deal with you, and I think let's have a roll to see how well this job negotiation goes and whether you are principally responsible for the disposal of this waste material or partially responsible.
Okay, and I will roll that with hot, I assume.
I think that's a good way to determine this.
And while I like that because it's highlighted, I think we might have had a change. We might have changed our highlights at the start of the session.
We should probably change highlights before this roll happens. I hate to get into something procedural like this, but we're kind of in this abstract space, so hopefully that makes the pain a little milder. So let's start with Jolo. Pick the person you have the highest HX with and highlight one of their stats. Let me clear everybody's highlights first so that we don't get confused.
Brother Scrimshaw.
Me again.
Yep.
You again. Hello.
Hey, don't clear my X. I haven't put up the XP for that yet.
Okay. Is this from last session?
This is from last session, yes.
Well, just give yourself an XP point.
Okay,
Delete it.
I give myself an XP. Okay, then you can delete it.
All right.
Wait.
All right. So, Jolo, what stat do you want to highlight on Brother Scrimshaw here?
That's the way around it is. I want to see that XP be earned, so I'm going to take the easy one and go with hot.
All right.
Thank you.
Yoink. Oh, for pity's sake. All right.
This is not the right one.
All right. And I'm going to once again be the GM Monkey Wrench Bastard and choose your hard.
Oh no.
I know. Next up, Donna. Relesta.
Who has the highest hit checks with me? Both of you are at +1, so dealer's choice, I guess.
I would select Jolo. What sort of...
You have Jolo has HX +3 with you?
No, I have HX
Oh,
+3 with
right.
Joe.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Alex, you may as well.
Oh, I'm
pick
doing
for
the other
me.
way. Yeah. I might do the monkey wrench. Be the monkey wrench this time. Oh no, I'm not gonna be very monkey wrenchy. I'm gonna go sharp.
Okay.
A hint of monkey wrenching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go in on hard again.
Okay.
All right. And then Sabine.
Oh, yeah, me.
That leaves you to highlight one of Jolo's stats.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sabotage your thingy here and go with hard.
Oh.
Oh
no.
no, not hard.
Well, then I'm definitely
cruel.
gonna highlight Jolo's hot. So you can't stop me that much. Yeah. All right. So there's all of that. That was to preface and figure out what stats might be highlighted before Brother Scrimshaw rolls hot on this job negotiation. So I think we're just rolling raw to figure out a simple thing. If it's a full hit, you'll be fully responsible for this disposal. If it's a partial hit, you'll be half responsible, and if it's a miss, Ryaka will continue on whole hog with his just get it off the station plan.
Okay. See how that goes.
All right. All
That's
right.
11. Full
You
success.
You are fully responsible for it.
Right.
So give yourself 2 barter now. Because that's sort of your initial setup of work fee, your advance, if you will. And there's 4 more barter in it for you once you've completed the work. And we'll talk about completing the work soon. And by soon, I mean, I don't know when. I'm making a quick note.
Soon, stop asking me questions.
Just, it's like I'm at work. Let's see, what's required of... So now that we've gotten that bookkeeping out of the way, who are you taking anyone with you to the races? Because I assume you're going. I assume that you're not snubbing this scene. Although perhaps that just makes an ass out of me. You are muted.
I am not muted anymore, and you're
Good.
talking to me clearly. Yeah, I will take someone. Oh, I mean, does Ordo want to come?
Well, you're going to invite Ordo?
I mean,
anyone you invite is going to be thrilled to go. And almost anyone that you invite will be happy to go with you.
I will invite Ordo. I owe him.
All right. Ordo is thrilled, surprised, totally did not expect this kind of kindness, kind of favor returning.
I said I would buy him a drink. Can buy him a drink on the racetrack.
Wow. All right. Feel like I need to buy you a drink.
No, it's fine. I appreciated your help back there a lot.
Well, I mean, you've been doing so much for the station.
Oh.
It's only natural, right?
Yeah, not everybody might see it that way.
Yeah. And Ordo's, I assume that this is sort of pre the race, either you're meeting at your garage or you're meeting in one of the footpaths sort of leading into the casino itself. Ordo's dressed up. Ordo is not in uniform. He's in some tidy, not like luxurious dress, but it's relatively formal. It's kind of on the low end of formal. Just neat, clean, tidy. Not highly ornamented. Maybe some kind of family crest pin on a lapel. And a bit of careful attention paid to his skin, before making it out. Just the right kind of mist. He's got like a 5-step routine, keeps him looking young. And how are you dressed? How's Scrimshaw? Yeah, you're normally pretty dripping for a mechanic, but maybe you're breaking out something new. Who knows?
Oh, I think I will dress up. Yeah, I mean, I want to make an impression, right? So people will ask who I am and then come to the garage and bring their weird stuff to me. So I am fully turning on the, hello, I'm a weird guy, but you might want to talk to me about weird stuff.
Yep.
So I have turned on every tattoo that I possess. It's not that many, but it still looks tasteful. And I think I'm wearing something. I think I'm still wearing something somewhere between magenta and orange. That kind of
very hot, very bright.
Yeah, very hot, very bright against a black backdrop. And yeah, I think I've covered my hair because I know a lot of aliens find hair on the head odd and weird. So I think I'm wearing some sort of a cap or something.
Okay.
Nice. And of course, I'm wearing the sigil of my order. Not too prominently, though. What I'm wearing prominently is... No, I'm not wearing prominently an advertisement of my shop. Or maybe I am. On the back of my jacket that I have on, you can see it. But only if you look sideways. Like, that's the effect, right? You can't see it if you stare at it. But
kind of a lenticular effect.
Yeah. Okay. You have to do a little bit of work to see what it says. Because it adds to the mystique, I think.
Okay. All right.
I might be mistaken.
I'm not going to tell you how to run your business.
Yeah.
Sweet. Excellent. Jolo.
Yes.
So
are you going? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you for playing along. Thank you for being a part of the game. Did you invite anybody as your +1?
I think there is a I think there is a pretty Mon Calamari who they run a business, small business. Somebody else come up with a small business for this.
Is this Tila Daunton, the bodega owner?
They quite possibly are.
All right.
Are they?
I already have a name and an image for them. This is a Twi'lek, though. So.
Oh no, no. Okay. It's not them.
Okay, that's fine.
That's a little bit. I mean,
no,
that's a little bit too weird looking for him.
Got it.
I mean, They don't have the hair, which is great, but they
Yep.
still have the quite strange facial features.
Eyes both on the front of the head. Oh, weird.
Maybe it's actually a niece of council member Talzuk,
Oh, all
Ooh.
right.
who doesn't really trade on the family name.
All right, all right.
And
It is
I've-
your job to find another Mon Calamari image that doesn't look exactly like Admiral Akbar for me to use.
I will get on that. But yeah, I'm going to ask her if she would like to go.
All right. What's her name?
I don't really know Mon Calamari naming conventions that well.
Make it up, cause I don't either.
Gishi.
How would I spell that?
I will type that in chat and I
Love
will
it.
figure out as I type it.
Yep. Very Star
I'll go
Wars.
simple.
All
Go
right.
simple. There we go. Gishi.
Gishi.
I think she actually has a pet store.
I like it. I like that quite a bit. Very cool. Are you dressing up to go to this race?
I didn't. Then I picked up Gigi and then she told me I should. And I changed into my other costume.
What's your other costume? Talk to me about your fit. And then we're going to take a bio break.
It is, at first glance, possibly quite similar to what he normally wears, except there are no stains on it. And I think it actually has a bit of sleeves.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's and there's a little bit of pattern in it into the fabric. It's not just browns and.
Yeah. How are you familiar with Gishi? How did you two become on good enough terms for you to invite her out to a race like this?
I mean, I've been given extermination jobs before, and I mean, some of them I've had to, the type of problem I've just had to, exterminate them. But where possible, I've ended up with a live creature and have had to take it somewhere. And after some looking around, I approached her pet shop and she took the creatures off my hand.
Nice.
And it's been a recurring thing. And
so you got a fairly friendly relationship. I like it. Thank you. All right. In that case, once you've bothered to change clothes and you've found your shirt without any stains on it, Gigi is like, here, I thought that you could borrow this while we're there. And she gives you this scarf sash kind of thing. It's this very nice sort of techno silk kind of fabric. It matches your crest really well. Sort of makes the whole outfit pop.
Thank you. Shall we?
Let's go.
No.
And she crooks out an elbow.
I
think it's silly that the humans do this, but also it's kind of fun.
Not all their traditions are dumb.
Exactly.
And I head to the races.
Yeah. Thronging into the crowds. Lovely. All right. Let's take say 10-minute bio break? Meet y'all
Yeah.
back up around 17 after? Lovely. All right. Talk to you soon. Seemed like you just sort of popped into existence, Alex.
I did. I'm making use of the. I mean, I might be talking too soon, but there's been a run of a week where I've not taken a child to the toilets during the night or the evening, and
Oh.
not instantly regretted that decision.
All right.
So I'm
Congratulations.
enjoying the freedom, and I'm using it to put shadow wash on junk.
Nice, nice.
My junk is looking very. I'm going to stop that sentence. I was not reaching for that innuendo. So
Good, good.
Your junk pile.
Yes,
Yes.
my junk pile is looking junky.
Good, good. Good. I have not had any time to get back into using more of that dirty down rust effect paint that I got.
I very almost got it, but
it's
we dropped
expensive.
all our money on tickets to England and
Yeah.
doing it in England, and I was like, oh, next month.
It'll wait, yeah.
And I probably won't be finished with all my junk piles and stuff before I get paid again, so it's fine.
Fair, fair. Oh, welcome back, Sabine. All right. Well, if we are all back and ready to go, I will open it up into the new scene. I think this new scene is going to, for reasons that should be relatively clear, be kind of somewhere between an everyone in it group scene and a handful of single scene spotlights. So things are going to be a little loosey-goosey until some action perhaps accretes from it. But we'll open up with the opening festivities at the big fancy speeder race. The different screen projections and hollows of active recording cameras all around the track are available all over the place, around the seating, around the casino. There are a few feeds, even in the shopping galleria, that people are hovering around even if they couldn't afford a ticket itself. Certainly there are plenty of people with better things to do that are still kind of looking over their shoulder and going, well, I don't know, has it started yet? Well, who do you think's going to win? You know, just it's the talk of the whole station right now for reasons that I hope are plain. The big announcers booth is full with a handful of very colorful folks who are excitedly sort of trying to set the scene, create a story around this race, featuring, of course, some of its most interesting racers. The Navy's own Biala Dar is racing today. She's in a totally Navy liveried up speeder, of course, and is sponsored Who do you think she's sponsored by, actually? The specific officer. Do you think that she's sponsored by Port Admiral Kuzan? Do you think that she's posthumously sponsored by Captain Brax? I think that second one is a little
that sounds
juicier,
better.
a little more dramatic.
She can dedicate the race to his memory.
Mhm.
There's a memorial fund, right?
Yes. Yep, there's a memorial fund, although it's Captain Brax's family are tasteful enough to be like, we've got a pension, we're good. So the memorial fund is for Alex. What Jolo? What cause is the Brax Memorial Fund going to?
Oh. I mean, you can't really have like the family of clones. That's
Brax definitely did not have a family of clones.
I mean, in general, the family of clone troopers.
I mean, you have
know,
been seeing more of those posters, right? That say, "Clone Care Package. They fight for you. Support them today." So perhaps that program is something that the funding goes to, but maybe not. I mean, this is a military family, so that's not beyond the pale of what they would want charity money to go to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't want to backseat drive you too much.
Doesn't mean they're not sentient.
Yeah, there's no debate there. There's a lot of debate about other stuff, but that's not what this charity is about. But yeah, Bialadar is there. Gem Eclisu is sort of up there in the runnings as favored to win. She's sponsored by the casino owner themselves, sponsored by IGoA. Put that in there. Properly format that text. That doesn't make me sad. Yay! There we go. I'm happy again. And then there's Shaden Sapan, who I wonder who she's actually publicly sponsored by. There's some sort of business that is claiming to be sponsoring her, but Rolesta, you know that Shaden she's been sponsored by mob money. Yeah, the business that is claiming to be sponsoring her might as well be called Not a Front Spaghetti Shop.
I think maybe it's something like, Sparkle import export. There's some.
Yeah.
I think there's some dodgy tax break going on here.
Polaris Import Export Interests LLC Limited.
Yeah.
LLC Limited, please don't look at my taxes fund.
Yeah.
So yeah, and of course, several different garages have put together a speeder and sponsored a pilot in with their own money, trying to attract business, and also just sort of trying to test out speeder stuff, because let's face it, you don't run a garage if you don't at least kind of sort of love speeders and tinkering with them. Agreeable nods from Scrimshaw. Yeah,
I mean,
Scrimshaw
you don't have
wouldn't turn down a good speeder.
No, I don't want to fly them, but yeah.
But making their engines work real good, it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Are there any surprise contestants from our NPC list that we want to just throw in here to be silly?
What about that smuggler?
Oh, Lufta? Yeah,
Mhm.
Lufta can be in here.
I mean,
I think maybe Lufta is taking advantage of some loophole whereby the only way that they could guarantee they got a berth for their ship was to be a speedster pilot.
oh, nice.
I like it. I like it. So yeah, it's a little less that she's been sponsored into the race and more that she's been sponsored into a docking berth. So in fact, the all-new line of drinks at the casino that was supposed to be a selling point for this whole event is happening instead of a classic drink list that you've had dozens of times before. Lovely. So everyone has their sort of starting positions worked out. The pilots are seated in their racers. Announcers are, of course, going down the line, describing each individual racer in a sort of quick sort of brush. If they know the names of their speeders, if they have them, they'll talk about it. Different provinces of engine and chassis design. Lots of descriptions of the crowds. From here, you can tell, even as a racer, that, boy, the casino's hopping. It's busy in there. Probably every room in the casino has at least one big feed screen just dedicated to the race itself. And there are no click rats making them not work. So it's great. And then the starting bell goes off and everything begins. I think it's a traditional 3-lap race. So we're going to do a handful of different checks depending on the sort of general feeling and mood and momentum of the scene itself to see how the race goes. You've got some serious competition today. So good luck, Rolesta.
I mean, no unnamed pilots in red uniforms, right? That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, there are a handful of unnamed pilots in at least orange uniforms. Let's put it that way, because let's see, there's you, there's Biala, there's Jem, there's Lufta, and there's Shudden.
Yeah.
So that's 5 named pilots. I'm comfortable with really just leaving it there and saying it's a 5-pilot race. I'm also perfectly comfortable assuming that there are 3 to 5 other pilots of not worth a mention that are also there, so that if somebody needs to wipe out and explode just to make the scene more exciting, we don't know who they are. It doesn't matter.
That's fair.
Okay. So, yep. It starts off. Let's see where you start off in the pack. Randomizer. Wow, you got to take the pole position. You actually start in front, which is both good and bad.
I mean, I don't think it's bad because I was intending on taking the lead anyway and not giving it up.
Confident.
Fastest from the frontest is my approach to racing.
It's a genius strategy. Stay ahead of everybody else and you win.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing Classic. How that works.
Cool. So you start out from the front. I think here I am looking at some moves. So you're not trying to outdistance another vehicle because you're in front right now. It doesn't seem like the thing. But you know what? I think that in order to stay in the lead with all of this attention on your tail, you are going to need to do something under fire.
Sure thing.
I think that that's certainly something to do.
As,
So
as this pack of
as this pack of other very competitive, very good racing pilots cluster behind you and try to determine who's going to take second and also who's going to take first. Who behind you are you most worried about right now?
I think right now, yeah, I'm afraid of or a little bit nervous about Biala Dar because I don't think we've ever seen her pilot before. So she's a bit of an unknown quantity, and hotshot pilot from the Navy.
It could either be very good or very
yeah.
very
I mean, no
mad.
one knows if this is her scene, and I'm maybe keeping an eye on her because that unknown quantity is something I'm kind of comfortable with everyone else's strengths and failures as pilots. They will cause me trouble, but Biala is who I'm kind of worried about right now.
Fair. All right. Well, let's have you roll and see what happens.
Number 5 was cool. Okay.
You are
Wow.
quite cool.
I'm not very cool.
Oh, but you're not very
As it
cool
happens.
right now. Okay.
Right now, yeah.
So you
Putt
start
putt, I think.
at the front of the pack. Let's see here. I'm gonna roll for a few different racers. Yeah. Oh. All right. So I think that you get overtaken by everybody with a name.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's perfectly fair. Shaden Sapan takes first. Lufta Falfi is right in front of you. And Biala and Jem are neck and neck for second place. Not at the end of this lap, because I don't really want to make every roll map directly onto a lap, but at the end of this scrum, right? From first to your position, it's Shaden, Biala, and Jem, Lufta, and then you. What sort of strategies does Shaden apply to this race that's really on the borderline? And like, as a all the way dialed in racer, you're like, that is fucking dirty as shit. But as a spectator, you're probably like, ooh, what happened?
Well, I was going to say something like, from the off, like going up around the edges of our kind of aquarium tunnel and then just cutting off someone else, like basically on the verge of creating an accident.
Right.
But if
right.
it's something dodgy that no one else would really notice, maybe there's like a little bit of troublesome exhaust coming out of the speedster that's, gnarling up the.
And it's funny because, like, that exhaust isn't always so dark and thick. It's just around this one turn where it really got choking. It's just this narrow point full of black smoke, and boy, Gem almost wiped out for sure. Biala had a hard time. Biala's racing is extremely by the book. It's very, I take the optimized route. I accelerate as much as possible. I enter turns at the correct speed. I exit them at the correct speed. I trust in the tuning of my speeder. Very direct, very pure racing. And clearly it's not enough for these kinds of hardened racer tactics. How did you get hornswoggled? What was the big moment that really lost you a lot of space?
Yeah, I think maybe I'll lean into that. I think, the rest of us who do this more often, we are not racing the track, we are racing each other. And so we are, anticipating our movements, and then maybe Biala comes in on the ideal line and nearly wipes me out, and I just cut back on the throttle and not
Like
quite
Biala
spin
wasn't
out,
even
but
looking for you.
yeah, like I shouldn't have been there. That's not. I mean, none of us should have been there. That's not how you take that corner, except that's how we do take that corner.
Yeah, like Biala's racing like she's the only one on the track, and sometimes that's great, and often it's not. I like it. Great. And yeah, Lufta is breaking out some very creative piloting. But her speeder it's middling. And frankly, it seems like it's kind of easy to fluster her. Maybe there's something that's keeping her head kind of out of the race. And maybe she'll pull it back together. Maybe she won't. She is in front of you right now, though. So clearly it's not going that badly for her. But
Yeah.
You're going to change that. We know this.
I'm happy to cut back to two very disappointed or maybe oblivious spectators who are looking at their bets.
Perhaps there's a rude gesture from Lufta, and the camera pans out just so that it's very easy to digitally edit out the rude gesture for certain audiences later. And
where the stakes are so high, the pettiness is extreme, right? You took my parking space, I'm going to kill you.
I mean, it's not just a parking space, but also, wow, yeah. Certainly the road rage is stronger in a parking lot than almost anywhere else.
Yeah.
So, Jolo, how are you enjoying the race? And what kind of seating did you get? You are free to define your seating. Scrimshaw, you're going to get the same deal. Just so you know.
I think we're not in the rows and rows of like stadium seating. I think we're free to kind of wander a bit.
Yeah, feel free to bump yourself out of the cheap seats.
Yeah. I think we've got like some, not the VIP booths or anything like that, but we've got a table with some chairs and a little bit breathing room.
Nice.
Amongst lots of other tables and chairs.
Okay, I like it.
And I think as it cuts back to Jolo.
So you're kind of in the aquarium that the racers drive through. Maybe it's a restaurant section in the casino.
Oh, now you said that, we are in there is a section of restaurant area which is divided directly in half by a force field. One side it is full of water. Other side, it is not. We're in the
Nice.
water side,
Nice.
nearish the force field, and bubbles and muffled swearing as Jolo sees that dirty bit of kind of smoke and slams his fist down and flattens the thin metal cup. And then, sorry, I that one's for Lester. I know her.
Oh, you know one of the racers? That's so exciting.
The Twi'lek.
Right, right. Her speeder's really pretty. This is the level of racing knowledge that Gigi brings to this. She is absolutely choosing her racing preferences and hopes on speeder paint job aesthetics. We stand a queen.
I did put a small
wager.
bet on a small wager.
Yeah. How many creds?
2.
Oh, small wager. Okay, good. All right. Noted. So yeah. Now, what do you do?
Wave over. I kind of try and catch the eye of one of the waiters and just point to her drinks. Are you enjoying the race? I mean,
yep. One of the waiters swims over with just strong adroitness. It's interesting to serve in a space like this because I'm thinking of it purely from like my own experience as a busser in a restaurant. It's like, in an air-based gravity restaurant, you've got the floor to walk on, right? But if you're in an aquarium that is also a restaurant, or a restaurant that's also an aquarium, you can like go above your diners. Is that rude? Do you think?
No, I don't think it is because
it makes the food
we're
get there
aquatic.
faster.
We're aquatic.
Yeah.
Based or
so
amphibious races.
Yeah.
It's kind of everyone on one plane feels weird. That's an odd way of.
It might take you a little bit of getting back into the groove of above and below that also exists. But your waiter swooshes down from above, taking a couple of different things. There are some very tastefully designed like grip points in the ceiling for wait staff to
also
sort of vault off of.
Look a bit chagrined at the flattened cup and just like place down a subdivision of a credit. Something that will at least reasonably cover the damage.
Right. I absolutely thank you. I'll get this replaced right away, sir. And he has a sort of flexible bladder with kind of a check valve on one end with some controls on it, which he attaches right to your drinks to fill them correctly in this underwater environment. So the drink stays in the glass, and it's Star Wars. I'm not going to explain how or why, but it looks very neat. And Gishi taps glasses with you. Thank you for this. I was just running low. Has a sip and goes, was that smoke on purpose?
Yes. That didn't look. There's a lot of money in these races. Sometimes people.
Oh no. Oh, is your friend in trouble?
She's a good pilot. It'll take more than that. I hope.
And yeah, as you convey your confidence, this is, I love the scene setting, so I'm going to have to roll with it. You see, sort of in your peripheral vision, you see this kind of form almost fitting like a couple of inches of distance, sort of force field vector that you're used to seeing when somebody comes into an aquatic space, but they're very clearly a breather of some kind, an air breather, that is. And this would be something kind of disruptive to this space. But you look, and it's a droid. It's a very standard spindly droid. Looks like they've had that sort of hard-crafted plastic black suit jacket kind of attachment added to their chassis so that they look a little bit more formal. They have this little hollow name tag spitting out in front of them, indicating that they are, short-term rented additional event labor. And it takes you a second, but it's TBD. From the Bounty Hunters Guild. As he approaches your table, with the same old mop in hand, and he spots this little smear of something oily looking on the floor, or floor adjacent. He's like, "Oh, I got you. Hey, Jolo."
By the way, is TBD a kind of free robot in that kind of can do what they want, or are they the one that's just like almost is kind of basically owned?
TBD's
like
relationship with the guild is a little ambiguous to you, unless you want to say that Jolo has specifically been curious about it.
He's curious now, but I don't think he has been before.
Yeah,
him turning up now is, so I don't think he knows.
Yeah, so he doesn't really know. Jolo, you're pretty sure that you've never seen TBD not in the guild house. So this is kind of a surprise. And like, he's put a little bit of effort into disguising himself, and he's like, "Hey, you got a minute?"
Gigi?
She's kind of flabbergasted. She's like,
this
maybe this is a business thing. I get it.
Don't go anywhere. I'll be back.
I'll keep your drink warm for you.
It was like a little flicker of my frill. I follow TBD a little bit away, or I move him a little bit away. I don't know if he's
capable of. He's got the kind of magnetic footing that he can walk away here without too much trouble. Between
I mean more like if he has the kind of social sense too.
TBD's better at reading a room than you expect. He's like, sorry about your lady there, but I got some important news for you from Cha-Cha-Dee. She couldn't leave to tell you herself, and putting it through transmissions means interception, so nobody's intercepting this. I told her, Roger, I'll get that message to him right away.
Is there a problem with the rice?
And TBD does a sort of conspiratorial room check. Everybody's looking at the race. Nobody's looking at you two, even if this is a little unusual, but
yeah.
And he goes, Yeah, Cha-Cha Diaz, she's got strong suspicions that Huni is got it in for your friend. That
What's
he's gonna
Hooney got to do
do
with
something.
Rolesta?
Buddy, I don't know what you breathers do.
I only do it half the time.
Ain't that the truth?
Leave it with me. And I'm glancing around to see if
You need any help, buddy? You just go.
you
I
head
ain't
back to Joshua D.
all right.
Tell him on it.
I will. Stay safe. Good hunting. And
now
I'm wondering, out of character, if Rolesta has divulged what happened last time Huni and her encountered each other, right? I kind of assumed that we did share, but maybe
I
not.
think that you probably did.
I'm fine with retroactively being less surprised about connection with Huni and Rolesta, and of knowing that.
Mhm.
And instead walking off with a "damn it, Huni."
Yep. And now, continuing our carousel of scenes, I'd like to point the focus to Brother Scrimshaw. You and your marvelous, colorful, electrified fit, and your cleans up pretty good Ordo friend, or friend Ordo, I should say. What kind of seating have you secured?
Yeah, I think we're close by to Jolo. Yeah, I mean, this is perfect. He can Otto can swim around, and I can sit on the air side, which is nice because I cannot really eat underwater. I could have a rebreather fitted to my suit. That would not be a problem, but
Yep,
could eat or drink.
Ordo makes like one or two kind of wistful glances into the water section, but doesn't say a word. Totally understands that, oh yeah, it would be pretty hard for Scrim to eat or drink in the wet side. That's fair, that's fair. I can still eat when it's dry too, so it's fine.
Okay, I thought we might have it one of these tables that have one part in the water and the other in the air side.
That makes conversation a little tricky, so he's
true.
fine. He's fine
That's
meeting
true.
you more than halfway, especially since, once again, he's just thrilled to get a ticket to the race. So
yeah.
Ordo has been perhaps the same as you, just really focused in on the different speeder models that are up and running in this race. Are there any two speeders that are particularly alike in model?
Let me see who is in the race. I think the answer to that is yeah. And I think what's rather similar is the one. I think for whatever reason, wherever she got that, Schaden has a speeder rather similar to what's her name, the Republic one, Biala.
Oh wow! All right,
yeah, that's odd. I mean, you wouldn't see it because she's painted the chassis and put a little some stuff on it, so you couldn't see the similarities. But if you have an eye for that, it's pretty clear. Yeah, that is I don't know, slightly remodeled Republic speeder, and the remodeling might just be cosmetic, actually. Wherever
potentially,
she got that.
But Ordo would not be convinced that it was merely cosmetic, especially after that smoke screening. You
I
know,
thought that was Lufta.
Lufta did not do the smoke screening. That was
Oh, that
Shut-in.
was Shut. Oh, wow. Okay,
Shut-in,
yeah.
Shut-in's
that-
playing it shady.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's in the name.
Yeah.
But the race isn't over, and I think the force is strong with Rolesta.
It's still early. Rolesta's a good pilot.
Yeah. Also, my money's riding with her, not with Shot.
I have to say that I do got to root for Biala.
Sure.
She's my team, but
yeah,
I
she'll
don't
make
think
a fine second place.
there's-
No,
Well.
I mean, she doesn't know how these races go, though. That won't serve her well.
Yeah, she let things get way too tight in that first turn.
Mm.
She's not paying attention. She needs to get her head into it. We can both agree, though, we don't want Shotton to win.
No, not necessary. No,
No.
I don't think she will, though.
We'll see.
Mm. Yeah, we'll see. It's
He's even got a secondary. He's got his an additional feed, like going straight to his data pad.
Oh, cool.
Too.
That's nice.
So he's poking around with it. He's trying to be polite though and stay focused on, also being a friend.
Yeah.
But sometimes he just can't help it. Sometimes he's like, look, here's the schematics. Right.
Oh, I'm totally interested in the schematics that he shows me.
Yep, you're both technical people, so
that's fine. I like schematics. I will also keep an eye out for Kelspar. Just maybe I see him, maybe I don't. Probably I don't.
Oh, I don't know. It's been 5 sessions, and you've wanted to have Kelspar in your character's presence for too long, so I made a choice to not dally any longer. So I think shortly after your discussion on who you want to win and who you think will win, who you think will be second place, etc., a little bit of back and forth with Ordo, you see Corinne enter in through the Atmos side, of course, of this restaurant space and give the area a looking over. Corner one of the wait staff to talk to briefly, passing over something she hands them. You're not sure if it's credit or a ticket or both. She holds on to the waitstaff's hand for a moment, and you're not a violent person and neither is Ordo, so you don't know what happens there. But the waitstaff scampers away, very motivated looking. And shortly after, Hellspar comes in and takes a seat at a table that has been emptied exclusively for him.
Of course it has.
Of course it has. Alex, is there anybody with Hellspar right now? Besides, of course, his bodyguard.
Now unmuted.
Yep. No is a strong contender, just so you know.
What was that?
If he's alone, that's
no,
also
I don't know. I'm a Navy,
a
mid-ranking Navy member of the personnel.
Vice Captain Jasper Diodai.
Yeah, let's go high, yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah, put the vice back into the Navy.
Put the vice back into the Navy. Yeah. So yeah, they sit down together. The conversation is, well, actually, I should ask, after you see them sit down together, what do you do? You're muted.
Exactly. I mute myself.
He's
No.
like,
Yeah. I mean, you can't see me blush. I have darker skin, so you can't see that. But
Kelspar's so dressed up.
yeah. Wow. I'm just happy that I did dress well, even though he's not even looking at me. Why am I caring about this? This is not healthy. I know that. I can't help it though. I will of course not stare. That would be uncouth. But I will occasionally glance over. I can't help myself. I know it's a mistake, but I can't help myself. And I don't know, Ordo might notice that my interest in these schematics has cooled a little, maybe.
And yeah, Ordo does pick up on it. Ordo's a tech head and a different species from you, but he can tell when your attention is elsewhere. That's for sure. And he leans in and quietly asks, "Oh, that's Calspar Caleris."
Oh, what? Oh, yes, he is. I know. I know that. I know he is.
Are you in trouble with him?
No. I don't even know him. Never met him.
Me either. Which seems like a good thing, but
Certainly it is. Yes, I get a little distracted by the sparkle, to be honest.
How does he make his hair do that?
I have no idea. I wish I knew.
I mean, I don't even like hair, but man.
Yeah, I don't know. He is certainly a very attractive person.
I only see some of the appeal, but that's more than usual.
It does not feel forced, but it is. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I think I need more. I think I need more to drink. Forgive me. I should pay more attention to you and the race.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. And Ordo flags down a waiter and orders an additional drink for you. Probably the same thing that you've already had previously.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would drink the same thing again.
That's perfectly sensible. Yeah, and through your totally not staring, you can see that the discussion that he seems to be having with Jasper, it has a casual air to it, but it's not particularly intimate. You know, there's not a lot of mirroring. There's not a lot of, meaningful eye contact, which means you still have a chance.
Well, yeah, kind
of. Yeah, Jasper has this sort of cocky air to him, which contrasts with the sort of cool, smooth confidence of Kelspar's general oeuvre.
I would like to read a person.
Sure. Who are you trying to read?
Yeah, that's a good question, right? I mean, I think I will read the Navy guy because reading Kelsbar will only disillusion me, and I don't want to be disillusioned right now.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so let's hit the dice. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, what do I need to roll sharp? I think I'm
2d6 plus 1.
Fairly sharp. It's not highlighted though.
Nope.
I should start a brawl.
Clearly, you need to punch this guy. But you're not going to know why you want to punch him until after you make this roll. So let's see.
It's a 10.
Ha! All right. So that gets you plenty of questions. What would you like to know first?
I would like to know what he's really feeling.
Let's see here. He's feeling on top of the world. He's
Okay.
feeling like things are really going his way.
Okay, interesting. Also, probably not boding well for him.
Who knows? What's any other questions you want to ask right now? Do you want to save them? You're not really interacting with
I
this
know.
guy. Is there anything that you're doing to surreptitiously draw him out? Are you like having a waiter take a special drink to him? Are you
have to, right?
escalating your eavesdropping? Now you rolled a 10, so I'm not, whatever you choose, I'm not going to backhandedly make something bad happen to you because of it. Whatever you're doing, it worked flawlessly. Although it does reposition you, perhaps.
I like the idea of ordering a drink for this person, just so I can observe his reactions, right? Not to draw anybody else's attention.
Right. Okay. And did you? Once again, this works. There's no real penalty involved. Whatever you choose, because you rolled good. Did you send this bottle anonymously, or did you send it care of yourself?
Question. This has to go south at some point.
Bringing the intrigue here. I'm just
right. I mean, come on. I know that I'm making a mistake, but this is a mistake that I will make at some point in the future. So why not now?
Fair enough. Your name?
Yep.
It's on it?
Sure.
Oh, lovely. All right. Well,
and I'll send it to both of them because
they'll
why
both
not?
drink it. So yeah. Yep, they make a show of being pleased. They'll raise their glasses up to you for a moment, smiling, waving. And their discussion takes on a slightly different candor. It returns to it. Seems like it might be starting to wrap up, in fact, but that's just something I'm kind of giving to you. I
wonder
how. Do you have any other questions, or should I roll forward?
I have one question. How did I get this guy to, I don't know, come over here and give me a reason to get into fight with him? Because I really want to know what will happen if I do this.
So just a quick gut check, although of course I've been chuckling along and being like, oh yeah, you could punch this guy. This is a reality check for the both of us. Kalspar's bodyguard is still here.
No, I don't want Kalspar to come over. I want the other guy.
Oh yeah,
that's the one I get the hold over. I want the other guy, after they have concluded their business, to come over and start a thing. I want to see how Kalspar reacts if he does it at all.
Okay.
I don't want Kalspar to come over and punch me. I know he has a bodyguard.
Okay. All right. So how do you get this guy to come over to you and get physical, or at least upset? How do you piss this guy off? You could accuse him of killing his captain.
Oh, wow.
You could.
Okay.
You could besmirch his naval record.
Okay.
You could go into something about his parentage. He's not as much of a public figure as his immediate superior, Captain Brax, was. But you could also do something like point out how strange it is that he's here partying when he really should be preparing for the responsibilities of the promotion that maybe he's qualified for, but now that you see him here, maybe he's not.
Yeah, I have an idea. I just need him to come over.
All right. If you want him to just come over, I think I'll just hand that to you because you sent him a drink. You sent him a bottle that he got to split with Kelspar. So he's feeling fairly good, and thanking you doesn't seem out of the question. So he does wander over at some point. It looks like whatever discussion he's had with Kelspar is concluded. And pardon me, I've got to open a door for a chirpy little kitty who really wants
Go
to
and
sit
do that.
outside. Yeah, there you go, little guy. Don't say I don't deliver. Oh, he's cute, y'all. All right. He comes over, he says, "Help. Thank you for the drink. I'm afraid I'm not acquainted." And
No, you're not. I smile at him like this. I have a very innocuous smile, like I'm the most personal person in the world. And I say to him, I just wondered how it is that you, the successor to General Commander, whatever his rank was, and Scrimshaw lost the rank, Brax, is sitting here with a notorious criminal. Is there something to the rumors that you had a hand in his demise? And I smile brightly at him. And my tone doesn't match my words at all.
And his smile kind of melts on his face for a moment, and then he sort of shakes it off and goes,
I mean, should you
Mr.
really
Caleris is an important member of our community and a
yes,
legitimate
I'm very aware of that.
Legitimate freight transporter.
He's not a freight transporter, and you know that. But, you know, I thought you would be at the ceremony for Captain Brax's memorial, but it seems that you have better things to do. Interesting.
And he leans in. That's right. I do have better things to do.
I don't understand you. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. He leans in and he like growl whispers, I do have better things to do. You've got him right on the edge there. Nudge him one more time.
Punch him one more time. I mean, wow, I've gotten, and I say,
like his hand is on your table.
Yeah, and I say, yeah, sure, go run along.
Yeah, and he flips your table and he takes a swing at you.
Try to evade that.
And yeah, let's see. What's going on there? Try to evade it. Well, he's a military man and you're not. So I do think that he's going to land a blow on you, and it's going to suck. You're wearing armor that is very effective against energized weapons, but not against other stuff. I'm going to say this is going to end up being one harm for you.
Okay.
But immediately afterwards, you know, you take a blow,
which gives me all the excuse I needed to just use my stun thingy.
Oh,
on
you
him.
wanna you wanna?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. All right.
I don't want to be saved. No.
Oh yeah, no, cool. Then this seems like going aggro on somebody, I think.
Yep.
'Cause this is very personal. You've brought a weapon into it.
Yeah. Well, this is what I was going for.
Yep.
The force tells me that I should do this, so I
Yeah,
try.
the force is like, this guy's an asshole. You know it.
The force is like, use your heart stat.
Use your heart stat. Do it. Get XP. It's good.
Okay. So my heart stat is 0.
Yeah, better than it could be.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes.
No, it does not go well. I stun myself.
Oh.
Probably I stun someone I didn't mean to stun. Does not go well. He probably saw something like that coming because he's a military man and I'm not really a fighter.
Yeah, he didn't make it to vice captain for no reason. So I'm gonna say that that this gets embarrassing, actually, because you know, you put out your glove and he moves to the side, takes your wrist behind the glove, jams it around behind your back, and gets you in a control hold. Doesn't even hurt you further. Is not interested in it. You know at this point that if you return to this conversation, it's going to go just about as badly again for you. And yeah, he whispers in your ear, I don't know why you started this, but clearly you need to go cool off somewhere else, somewhere where people like you really belong. Now, somebody's probably called security by now, and I'm going to hand you over to them. And I'm going to watch you leave. And then I'm going to enjoy the rest of my drink. And I'm going to go and get my promotion. And you, with your delightful insinuations, will have nothing. Just like you started out with.
I will see what I have.
Oh, I look forward to it. Bryn is still pretty distant, but she has moved closer to your table, sort of to see what pans out. Kelspar has watched. He seems to recognize you. And he sort of moves around some things in front of him on the table, sort of to distract himself. And then sighs and leans back and shakes his head a little bit. And gestures to Kryn, and they get up to leave.
Okay.
Sabine, by the way, do you think this was in any line of sight of Jolo?
Probably. I mean, yeah. I totally think that it was.
Yeah, I think that can be whatever time concurrence with Jolo's scene that is most logical and convenient, both for you, Alex.
I think this is happening while Jolo is talking to Gigi. He's returned from TBD and
So he's trying to excuse himself with Gigi.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
I need to go deal with something. It's not dangerous.
is this another pest control job?
Yes.
Oh, how dare they come at you like this when you're having some recreational time?
You know that they'll send another guy, and you know how that they'll just flush him out into space, and
Or the recycling ducts. I get it. I get it.
it's, at least they get a chance with me, and I wouldn't leave this for any other reason. And I put some money down for you. Stay, have drinks. Maybe I'll be back later. I'll send you sorry, and
Sigh. So you're making this awkward exit, and then you get to watch that scene unfold where Scrimshaw provokes this guy and then loses a fight. But you know, like, Scrimshaw wouldn't pick a fight with somebody who didn't earn it. He's much better put together than that. He's not necessarily always using the best critical judgment, but
yeah.
But he dislikes the kind of people who deserve it.
I kind of approach the scene giving is it Kirin? No.
Kryn, yeah.
I kind of obviously Kryn sees me coming in on the periphery. That's
yeah,
a given.
Yeah, she absolutely knows you're there. You feel made as soon as you pass through the aquatic section.
I do not put myself between Kirin and Kelspar. I'm offside.
It would be extremely challenging for you to do so.
Yeah. I kind of I'm giving like one eye on what's going on with Scrimshaw, one eye, and kind of like I'm giving a nod of recognition to Kelspar and Kirin. And kind of just walking in, like there's violence happening, but there's no weapons, or it doesn't seem to be escalating. So I kind of let it play out, and
So just to this is going to be awful, but here we go. So like there you go. There's Kryn and Kelspar and Scrim and Vicey and sort of the dividing line between the aquatic and so on. So I assume that maybe you're around here or here-ish, if that makes sense. Maybe this way.
I'm coming. I come up behind Scrimshaw, hand on your shoulder, and just go and kind of lean in and go, is this just as dumb as it looks, or is there?
It might be, yes. It very well might be.
Do you need a hand? Do you need a hand?
I think I will need to leave now. I don't require services. Thank you for asking. This was my mistake, or my decision to make. I'm not entirely sure where this mistake is leading me. Sometimes you have to follow the force.
Worse things to deal with today.
What do you mean?
Hooney.
Oh, you need a hand.
Maybe.
Okay, I need to leave anyway.
And security just as sure as the clock ticks forward, shows up in the doorway. It's one of the very shiny security droids. The one that's covered in gems and padded sections and not so padded sections, and these pearlescent looking bubbles. They are just baubled up to the max. And security goes, a disturbance has been reported here.
Oh, it was my fault. I assume full responsibility. I will leave the establishment.
Understood.
Since there has been no other consequences and nothing hurt but my pride, I feel that financial recompense is not necessary.
And, the droid takes a quick scan as a few beeps and trills emanate from its sensory orb. Confirmed. Let's go outside and get some fresh air. Thank you for joining us at the Accretion Star. We hope that you have a better time on your next visit. You are not currently banned.
Thank you.
However, you have been warned.
Thank you. I feel warned.
I like your collar.
Yes, so do I. And when we're leaving, I think we're passing Kel's bar and his bodyguard, right?
I think that that's the most embarrassing, so we're totally leaning into it.
It's not embarrassing. This is what I was aiming for.
Ah, okay.
That was what I was aiming for, because I will give him the kind of look that he won't understand.
What kind
because
of
he doesn't. It's kind of the look that says it's. How do I describe it? I'm looking at him like almost a challenge with a smile. Like I'm exactly where I want it to be. This is exactly what I wanted to have.
And he'll sort of raise an eyebrow at you and conceal a smirk. And then he'll look to Kryn and back to you. And kind of wait for your response, but otherwise let things play out.
Oh, this is my response. I'm not going to talk to him or anything. I just want him to notice me. This is what I wanted.
He notices you. He notices you. And when it looks like you put yourself here on purpose, he seems entertained and curious. It's very what kind of guy does that to himself?
Huh. And that is exactly where I want him.
Yep. There you go. You're on his radar. He noticed you.
Meanwhile, Jolo is 5 strides ahead, shaking his head at mammals.
Yep.
And I will catch up to Jolo and say, yes, we have urges. I am sorry.
Yep. The droid is doing well. Saying that it's doing its best to keep up is like saying that it's slow. It's surprisingly not slow. It moves quite elegantly, actually. It's a little spooky. But it doesn't really have anything else to say. Everything seems resolved. So as long as you continue to move in a way that seems like you're leaving the casino, they're fine with it. I'm going to take a quick bio break, and then we're going to check in with Rolesta. This one should be a little quicker, so let's say 5 minutes. Great. Oh, that was fun. I see your comment in chat, Alex, that you want to check in with Relesta, which I'm sure won't be distracting. I like it. I like it. I like the possibility of people radioing into Relesta as she's engaging with one of the more difficult areas of the track, because I'm definitely making the next important role dealing with bad terrain.
Because, you know, nothing helps racing like being told you've been targeted by a bounty hunter. It does wonders to your focus and concentration.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy vibes.
Awesome.
I don't even remember the glass. They found out that nothing helps people achieve their greatest by having some horrendous physical disability to fight against. So, like, you know, wear a special device that gives you a limp. You'll win at a race. you
have to overcome that limp.
Yeah. And to be fair, knowing somebody's coming after you might actually help win a race.
Who knows?
Hey, I have 3 trash piles looking quite nice.
Lovely. Show
They
us.
are starting to be
nice and grimy.
Nice and grimy.
Yeah, like it.
Toolbox there.
Nice. Yeah. Looking
a couple
good.
of platforms and a load of barrels that are not quite as pretty.
They're barrels.
I mean, they're in a halfway state. They're not finished. They're not meant to look pretty right now.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So as you walk out of the casino with Scrimshaw describing these problems that are targeting our intrepid pilot, let's see how she's doing. Relesta, it looks like you're heading to one of the more challenging areas of this track. I'm going to make you deal with bad terrain as your next role. So which part of the track do you feel is sort of a bad terrain sort of situation? I'm going to post a brief description in chat of the course sequence to refresh your memory.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tempted to have the force field like high above the Galeria floor have a glitch. That would just be hilarious. But I think, well, for certain values, I'm hilarious. I think the aforementioned bumpy patch when we go outside the ship is much more exciting.
I think that's good. I think also that if the force field above the Galleria is malfunctioning, that could get pretty bumpy. But yeah, just before you start to exit the station proper to take the force field atmospheric portion of the course outside of the Jedi Cloister, and things definitely get bumpy because nobody's smoothing out the asteroid outside that this whole station is sort of built into partially. And you get an urgent beep of an incoming call in your cockpit. And this could be Adari telling you that something in her sensor network inside of the speeder has thrown off and you need to pay attention so that you can compensate via your piloting for whatever's going wrong. Or maybe it's something else. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, the galaxy far, far away a long time ago have had other things on their mind than coming up with caller ID, right?
Exactly. like faster than light telecommunications.
Yeah.
Yes. Caller ID, No.
By the way, I'll give you the information that if you do like kind of hang up on or switch off the signal, the beeping will immediately start coming back again.
Yeah.
So like, if that does happen, it just the beeping
Wow,
just
this must
comes
be
back.
really urgent.
Must be really urgent.
And like, who else?
Who else has the
would-
number?
Who else
Right.
has your idents? Like,
Yeah.
and would call you right now?
Yeah. So yeah, I will pick up, and through gritted teeth, I guess not quite teeth chattering, but yeah, the bumpy
Yeah.
ride. Yep, and maybe terser and less charming than Rolesta usually is when greeting someone.
Rolesta, Hoonies. I got a tip Hoonies on your tail. I don't know how. I don't know if they're involved with one of the ships, a trap. But it's going to happen in the race.
Well, if these are my final words to you, Jolo, I'll talk to you later. Because one way or the other, I might be dying in the next few seconds.
I got Scrimshaw with me. We'll try and figure something out on our end.
So when do you cut off that last comment, Rolesta?
I think I will not cut him off quite there. I will say, you do that, and then just hang up.
Good. I like it. So, Jolo, if you were going to engage in a thought experiment where you pretended to be Hooney, and you pretended that you wanted to kill Rolesta during the race, and create some kind of plausible deniability, where would you go? What would you do?
That combined with Star Wars vibe, I imagine some sort of thing coming out of a vent. Just and then like retracting and disappearing and never being there again.
Nice. All right. Cool. Interesting. And
maybe not just a comical spike or thing, but maybe some sort of device that would react to the ships, the races,
the engine, the thrusters, some kind of thing like that. Interesting. All right.
A space worm that's really hungry for kelp, and that kelp logo on the hull is.
And it just goes insane. It's like kelp.
Something that would trigger like a sudden boost of energy to systems, like just overcharging them for a second, which would absolutely mess up control. Turn a gentle turn into slamming into a wall.
Into a really, really exciting turn. Cool. Well, I think with that established, we can roll to deal with bad terrain.
So let me have a quick look at the move. Plus cool. I mean, there's that. Okay. 2d6 plus 2. Try not to die. Whew. I have possibly successfully tried not to die. I got a 10.
Oh, that is quite good. I'm not penalizing you for anything for having a cool description of things that make this especially dangerous for you. So let's say I think on a 10, you're going to gain 2 positions. So you are now in 3rd instead of 5th. And you're still alive. It's all good.
Always a bonus.
You fly through untouched. And let's see how everybody else is doing position-wise. Oh, so Biala is now in 5th. Jem is in 4th. And Lufta and Shadan are actually currently in a very, very heated contest for first place. But then, let's see how things turn out. I'd like you, Rolesta, to roll either read a sitch or read a person, your choice. But if you read a person, you have to tell me who.
Okay. I think I will be reading a sitch. Maybe I'm, these the people who are up front jostling for position, possibly with an upcoming too narrow for the both of them section.
Oh, of course.
In classic style.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'm reading that sitch. And
yeah,
looking for an opportunity there.
Yeah, as you go through the droid works, things get pretty tight. That the droid works is not a place where you would want to overtake anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's a place to sort of hunker down, not let anything drop on you, don't bump into anything, even though there is a force field, but still, and just wait until you're in the casino portion of the track. That's a lot wider track.
Okay, well, let's see what I spot. An 11.
Wonderful. All right.
My dice have decided to take mercy on me after that first duff roll.
Now that you've had a dramatic start, you can be good at the things you're good at. So
it was all just to pad the odds a little bit on the mid race betting. Right?
Yeah, it's just a callback to the pod race scene in the prequels, where you start off and Kiddo's ship just doesn't even go. Not really like that, but I think. So, what's your questions?
I'm gonna be perhaps obvious and say, where's my best way past?
Okay, your best way past. As we just said, you don't really want to overtake anyone in the droid works.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody's trying to kill you. It's entirely possible that one of the other racers in the pack is in on this action.
Yeah.
The racing scene is at least a little bit dirty at the best of times. This is the best of times, but there's still some dirt.
I guess I'm gonna give these two
give them
overambitious people a wide berth, leave them knock each other out if that's what happens, and maybe my follow-on question is, what's my enemy's true position?
So,
if that makes sense.
As these two jostlers struggle for first place, Shadan very clearly to your very tuned in racer's eyes, once again, a spectator would be like, oh no, what happened to Shadan? And you're like, she's taking second here on purpose. Shit. And at this stage, Shadan's not scared of the droid works. That doesn't make sense. Shadan is taking the second position to be directly in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the motivation for that becomes very clear as another thick cloud of black smoke pours out of her exhaust in front of you. You have one more question you can ask if you'd like, or you can save it for later in the race.
Yeah, I might save it. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna, expecting that she is gonna play dirty. I guess is
Oh yeah,
this is not as disastrous as it would have been if I'd been trying to pass out.
and there's a lot more visual noise here in the droid works to cover up what she's doing too, even with all of the cameras.
If I were gonna be sneaky about it, I wonder if I have Calspar on speed dial, given that he owes me a favor.
All right. So yeah, you dial him. Is this give me a picture of the communications in your speeder. Is this like a full like face front hollow call, or is this like just audio only, a little wiggling audio receipt feed?
Yeah, I think it's pretty basic, but I think maybe in a like Drive to Survive style, the hollow the hollow producers have like a camera in the cockpit for everyone, so they can kind of see what's going on.
So yeah, so Kelspar would get a hollow of your face and you don't get a hollow of his. I like it. Thank you for that detail. So yeah, he'll pick up and go, "Hello, Valesta. How can I help you? I would expect you to be busier than this right now."
I am busy, but Shaden is being shadier than usual. And I'm just wondering if she's driving for you.
Well, I have sponsored her today. But I have only sponsored her to race, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, well, she's doing a lot more than that. The second load of exhaust I'm getting in my face, and someone else is also trying to kill me at the moment. So, one of those I'm quite happy to take on myself, but two less so.
So although he said that he owed you a favor, I'd like you to seduce or manipulate someone.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because
this is his pilot.
I need to apply some leverage to get him to deliver. So.
Unfortunately, your hot is not highlighted right now. Sadness. Your sharp is, though, so I hope that you took an XP for reading a sitch.
Yeah, I just did.
Good.
So, let's see. No, that's a 6.
Oof.
Unless someone has some, but no one is nearby Kelspar to lend a helping hand anymore, right?
Yeah, that's.
There could be a certain amount of radio manipulation that I'm willing to accept here, but if nobody comes up with anything, that would also make sense.
I mean, I could have done some stuff to your radio system so that the line would be pretty clear and he could see your face pretty well. Like he could see that you are actually, you're not kidding him. You're not making stuff up. try to
Mm.
manipulate it into something. You're just trying to make a deal. kind of.
Sure. I think that that's relatively effective.
Okay. In that case, I will roll with my HX with Lester, which is 1. And try to help. Yeah, it's a 10. Super helpful.
Very nice. Super helpful. So there's a pause, and then Kelspar responds, you're right. I don't like it when my employees take on side hustles like this. I'll make it stop. Good luck with any other problems, and good luck in the race.
Okay. Does that mean there will be some extra? Because on a 7 to 9, right? There will be something extra in terms of what he needs from me or what I need to provide to him, or are we?
That's true. That's true. Thank you for bringing that up. I was unfocused and interpreting your upgraded to at best an 8 roll as a 10. So yeah, he'll go along with you. That needs some reassurance, corroboration, or evidence first. Yeah, I don't think that you need to provide any additional evidence for Shaden to be proven to be manipulating the race. She's clearly doing that, and Kelspar is not an idiot or willing to take you for an idiot in this specific situation. So what does Shaden want? No, what does Kelspar want as concrete reassurance?
I have a idea to put forward.
Yeah, please.
I mean, it seems like he currently has a racer that maybe isn't that reliable. Maybe in the future he'll need his own, a new racer to.
Perhaps.
If you want to be a bit more mean, she's still his racer. He still wants her to win, doesn't he?
That's true. That's true.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, he starts out, I can make this problem go away, although, of course, it would require your discretion, if you understand me.
I can be discreet.
Because Shaden is, of course, a legitimate racer who is racing as she should be. Excepting, of course, for some indiscrepancies that I will take care of. However, I've heard that your speeder model is getting a little out of date.
I mean, that will upset my mechanic.
And yet, I find that those kind of feelings tend to ignite one's ambition.
Sure.
Well, enjoy the second seat at the table in that case. Bip.
So
now you're
I mean, I'm
racing for second
understanding
place,
that I have to.
unless
I
you're-
should. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I will vaguely throw the race if it's obvious. If it's not too obvious.
Yep.
That's fair.
After that call, there's a few more seconds of bullshit. Like there's a half a minute. Probably you start through the opening of the casino portion of the track with Shadan just being total asshole. And then, like magic, things smooth out. She's still racing competitively. In fact, she starts harrying the first place rider again. Somehow her attention has returned to where it needs to be. And the race is genuinely back on. Maybe. We'll see. And I think, how are we all doing for time? Do we want to kind of wrap it here? Sort of close on the announcer calling out the order of the racers up front. Let's see. Jolo and Scrimshaw have exited the casino. They're putting their heads together to come up with some kind of a plan to keep Huni from hurting their friend. With a very shiny droid going, have a sparkling day. And wandering back inside the casino.
And I will in that phrase, I will give him the droid a smile and say, "Oh, I do."
Yeah,
But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alex.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I was on board with that kind of wrapping up, but
Sure.
Yeah, me too.
All right, then that's where we'll close this session. I think that that's a fun little cliffhanger, sort of two-part episode point, and we should sidle into Stars and Wishes.
Isn't there an end of session move with the HX thingies?
Oh goodness, there is, and I skip over it every time. Thank you for the reminder. End of session. At the end of every session, choose a character who knows you better than they used to. If there's more than one, choose one at your whim. Tell that player to add +1 with to their HX with you on their sheet. Yada yada, etc. So let's start with Sabine, since you wisely reminded me. Who knows you better? Yeah.
I'm afraid it has to be Jolo, because he was there for the entire scene and what I made of it. And he saw that, and I think he knows me better now because kind of did that on purpose almost.
yeah, I think that seems, yeah, the right.
All right, so
I know you for the better.
I mean, it's kind of, maybe you enjoy seeing a little more fight in Brother Scrimshaw. Maybe you're a little like,
oh yeah.
Why did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that. Yeah.
Excellent. Then, Rolesta, who knows you better this session?
Yeah, I think Jolo for that. Can I call it a phone call for that communication?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I definitely saw a side of.
Looks like that'll roll you over, actually, Rolesta.
No, sorry, am I not giving Jolo?
Oh, sorry, Dart.
Yeah.
I'm mistargeting. Thank you. So Brad, brother, I mean, blah. Jolo, basically add
I got
+1 to
Yep.
both of your HXs.
Yeah. Okay, who knows me better? Well, a mixture of Jolo without asking for a fee, helping somebody. I mean, like going out of the way to help somebody. He usually will do it if there's like a problem happening in the moment. He'll help.
Yeah.
And also, maybe Brother Scrimshaw saw that Jolo was on a date. I don't know. So I'm going to go with.
It would be hard for Scrimshaw to have missed that, I think. Although Kelspar was right there looking
there was
good.
Sparkly Kelspar.
Wasn't there all the time, and also we had the whole click rat thing last time when we
Yeah.
didn't do the HX thing. So I feel
Yes.
that's
So
fair.
I agree.
Okay.
Very good. Well, that was quite fun. Thank you again for the reminder. And now for stars and witches, let's start off with stars. And let's start with Alex.
I really enjoyed the kind of the structure of the race, and also the problem that you brought, Jen, and the problem that Sabine brought. To add flavor to the viewing of the race. Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing Brother Scrimshaw's more I don't think self-destructive is the right word, but maybe behavior, which was nice to see that kind of other side of Brother Scrimshaw. I enjoyed that. Also, I liked hearing the implied swear words from Rillis. She took the call. I felt them there, even if I didn't hear them. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Next up, Donna. Stars.
Yeah, lots of neat editing back and forth between all three of us, and the kind of the dating versus the racing scene, which was nicely done, and a good contrast to from what everyone was doing. And yes, let's see how much Brother Scrimsaw can get into trouble. Was very amusing. Again, unfortunate, but sometimes the dice want what the dice want. And yes, Alex, I much appreciated that. I think the funniest part of that communication was also if you hang up, I'm just going to keep bothering you. So let's rip off this band-aid of annoyance. So yeah.
Nice, nice. Good. Thank you. Sabine. Stars.
Yeah, stars for the racing scenes. I really like those. I like seeing more of Lester doing what she actually can do well, even if she gets a face full of dirty exhaust stuff. Remained in the race. I like that.
Yep.
Also liked her conversation with Kelspar. Like, okay, I'm in a race, in the middle of a race. I'm calling the criminal mastermind to do some dealing. Yeah, I really like that.
Definitely unexpected. Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked Jolo going on a date with Gigi. Anyway, yeah, I like that date that he brought, and I also liked his. I always like Jolo being gruff at people, even though he actually tries to kind of be nice, I guess, but not to show that he's trying to be nice. I actually enjoy that. And of course, stars to you, Jen, for the marking of my hearts there, to see what you get when you do that, right?
Yep.
Because I am a power gamer.
A power gamer, right into those delicious failed rolls.
Yep. Yep.
Just taking a quick note. Excellent. Thank you. Since, of course, you waited until last to give your stars, you are first to give wishes, Sabine.
Oh, I wish for more racing. I wish for Alesta to kind of tie maybe or something. I wish for her to do something really amazing, and for the dice room to support that. yeah, and then I wish that we maybe get together after we've defeated any other threats, or maybe not. We get together for a celebration. Maybe not in that place where I just got thrown out of. So.
Probably
You're
not.
not banned.
But you're not banned.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but coming back the same, it's kind of. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I wish for a victory celebration with all three of us.
All right, nice. Excellent. In that case, let's move on to Donna. Wishes.
Yeah, I think there's a Swish bar with free kelp at the Grand Hotel, right? So I think we might go there. Yeah, I think having a scene where we're all together would definitely be what I'm looking for next. Given that I'm kind of, phone calls aside, a bit isolated this session, but that is what it is.
Yeah, this session was chaotic. I was like, I'm gonna kind of put them in a similar spot with sort of the same valence of activity and see how together that is or isn't. And I mean, I like the way this painting came out, but it was not a group scene overall. So yeah, I will try to prioritize, finishing that race and getting y'all into one scene together afterwards. Any other wishes?
I imagine this might be for us as well. Maybe a certain bounty hunter needs to get their comeuppance.
Yeah. That seems fair. Alex, what wishes have you got?
I mean, I want to see Huni in person.
Yeah.
I would like to see Gigi again. I just made that up on the spot, literally, as we were.
I like
okay,
her.
Yeah, I just thought okay, I wanna add some texture to being at this thing, rather than just adding something what's something that we might not expect from Jolo. Okay.
I like it. Any other wishes?
I want there to be a fight, which I think is, yeah.
Like if you see Huni in person again, I feel like there's going to be a fight, and I want that too. I definitely want that too.
I also want my promised racer explosion. I don't think we've got an actual racer slamming into a wall or spinning off and scraping into a fireball against the force field.
Yep. It's not a Star Wars race if nothing explodes. So I'll try to work that in. Very cool. Stars for me. Thank you guys for being very creative with your +1s. I enjoyed everybody's +1 choice. Donna, thank you for leaning into the racing, and playing along as I sort of lobbed the ball to you multiple times to be like, well, what about this part of the race? What's that kind of like? What's going on here? So I thought the race had a really good, appropriate amount of texture, without having to have, a full bio for every single racer and like a map of the track and all of that. None of the boring stuff, all of the stuff that we came here to see. I liked that. I liked seeing Jolo on a date. I liked watching Scrimshaw thirst. That was quite amusing. I liked getting to take some more of the NPCs out for a little joyride. That was quite fun. Let's see, any wishes I've got? I mean, you guys are hitting it. Group scene, some celebration, more of the racing, fighting, an explosion. I'm all here for it. This was, as usual, a very fun session. So thank you all for being great sports and good players. I had a very good time. And we're all on for next week.
Yes, thanks for running, Jen.
Of course.
Pleasure, as usual.
Yeah. I'm going to stop the recording now.
Bye, internet.